still. Okay. Hi, good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Good? Thumbs up. Good? 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 I understand that we have less crowd for the sessions, but still, everyone's doing good? Okay, I hear at least a bit. Okay, so thank you guys for joining our sessions, our P.Talks sessions in the Malaysian Road Expo 2023. Normal routine, thank you for the time and effort for coming, flying, traveling to KL and join our event. Thank you so much for the time, effort and everything, okay? So today, we have our P.Talks sessions with Ms.Hasshviny, the Assistant Director of Industry Development Division from Malaysian Timber Industry Board. It's also known as MTIB. That she's gonna be sharing with us about the timber verification services for timber in construction. So are you guys ready? Yes, okay, I like it. For those that's having like probably eating at the back, you can also listen. I think you can see the screen, okay? But before we proceed over to, oh, sorry, my bad. Give me a second, okay? I got this. So before we proceed any further to pass the floor over to Ms.Hasshviny, I'd like to do a little bit introduction about Ms.Hasshviny, okay? The girl that's sitting just right beside, okay? She's a bit nervous right now, but okay. You guys will give your best support to her, right? Okay. Yes! Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. So Ms.Hasshviny, the Assistant Director of MTIB, is, okay, first, we're going to introduce a little bit about MTIB first. I think some of you guys that joined yesterday's sections probably already know what MTIB is doing. So MTIB is a statutory body accredited to the Ministry of Primary Industries, which was established in 1973 by an Act of Parliament. So the main objective of MTIB, anyone? Anyone? Okay, the main objective is to promote and coordinate the overall development of timber industry in our Malaysia. So today we have Ms.Hasshviny here who will be sharing with us on the timber verification services. So are you guys ready? Yes! Okay, let's put our hands together to welcome Ms.Hasshviny.
Thank you, Ms. Benji, for the warm welcome. Hi everyone, I'm Hasshviny Subramaniam here working as an Assistant Director at Malaysian Timber Industry Board, MTIB. So before we tap into our topic today, which is timber verification services for timber in construction, let me just tap into a brief intro, okay, more brief in detail for the MTIB. So MTIB is a statutory body under the Ministry of Plantation Industry and Commodity KPK. We are one of the agencies responsible for developing the wood-based industry in Malaysia. So in carrying out our functions and growth, right, we have provided various services, and one of the prominent services we provide is the timber verification services, in short TVS we call it. So what exactly is TVS, right? So we will tap that into further as well when we go into our slide later on, but just for introduction purpose. So TVS is a service that can help specifiers. So who are the specifiers here we are mentioning? That will include architects, engineers, developers, contractors, building owners, and the end users as us, the consumers, the end consumers of the timber products. Purchase meet the specified specification. So we at MTRB has been doing the TVS since the year of 2000, and it has been implemented voluntarily based on requests and receipts from the customers actually. So the timber industry has been the catalyst of Malaysia's economic growth for centuries. A standout of the agri-commodity sector, wood and the wood-based industries contribute significantly and consistently to the economic's growth, GDP, employment, and also the economic itself. So here, if we take a look at the trends of the export of major and import of the major timber products from January until December for the year of 2022, we can actually say that most of the value contributed the highest, okay, the top three will be wooden furniture, saw timber and plywood, which has contributed up to 50% of the total import and export value for the year 2022. So here, if we look at the numbers specifically, right, we can see that the number for the wooden furniture export-import has been as ranked the most, all right. So here, what happened? What has made the wooden furniture sector to rise up above all? Well, it is safe to say that one of the factors contributing to that will be working from home. So when people started to work from home, right, what we did, we saw our house, like we are like literally observing the surrounding of our house. So sometimes for some people it might look very dull, and what we did, we intend to DIY. Meaning to say, we try to, some people we try to change the furniture around, and some people we try to uphold the furniture, and even some try to reconstruct, repair and remodel the whole house in construction. Well, one side it has a good impact. We can see that consumers are on the high awareness side. They are tending to like the furniture, I mean the timber more, and also they have more awareness. The awareness level had slightly increased from past years. So here, although we are happy to see that the level of awareness of our consumers on timber usage has increased, we also have the responsibility to actually increase more. We want our consumers and specifiers to use the timber more when it comes to constructions. So there are so many qualities that have been possessed in timber. And why do we need to use timber for construction? Mostly, I'm not gonna talk about everything, but most prominent qualities of timber would be it produces low carbon dioxide emission. It can be sourced locally. Of course, it is known for its renewability, reusable and recyclable qualities. It produces definitely minimal waste. And most importantly, it has a high resistance to corrosion and are able to bear heavier load when it comes to usage in construction. And apart from that, it also have a great ability to withstand tensile and compressive and bending stresses. So here, timber as a versatile material, right? We can see it provides a great coverage, right? In terms of economical, environmental, functionality, and also aesthetic value. All right. So here, improving one's lifestyle and economy has prompted all of us, especially the consumers, to seek a better living condition with green habits. So this has actually increased the demand on timber-based products, especially at home, office, and construction businesses. But then, are we sure? Like, do we know when we have a seller right in front of us, right? When we have like a salesperson right in front of us selling the items, okay, this table is of a good quality. This table, if you buy it now, it will definitely last you for at least minimum of 20 years. Okay, if you are an expert on timber, you might not buy the line. But in case you are just another user, okay, another user of timber products in your daily life, would you buy it? I think I definitely buy it. Okay, I will sell it. It's all on how we actually carry the words to the consumers, right? So the same applies. So here, before we purchase timber, right, as a certifier or as a specifier and as an end user, but most importantly, for specifiers who act as, especially for architects, okay, construction workers, our contractors, they actually have to know the type of timber used, whether is it the correct timber or not. Okay, so when we actually wanted to take timber qualities or timber, the types of or the right types of timber usage in our industry, there are like few tips and tricks that one has to look into. So the first one is the right quality prevent difficulty. And the second one is the avoid defect from the beginning. What we are trying to see. So it's very simple. So if in order to avoid all the mishaps happens in later on, right? For example, to avoid like the decaying of the wood. Okay, let's say you apply the wrong species of timber for a usage. Okay, we can say that there are 7 types of strength group when it comes to wood. Okay, from strength number 1 until strength number 7. Okay, from the most strongest to the weakest. In case if you're not aware, okay, in case you're not aware of the strength group of timbers, you might be misapplying the timber for a group or for a wrong usage. Okay, instead of using group number strength, using timbers from the strength group number 1, you might be mistakenly using timbers from the weakened group of group. So here, to avoid all these mishaps, right? So for us, it is important to know that the right quality prevent difficulty when it comes to construction itself. Okay, second one, it's like ensure a longer lifespan for timber. So why is it timber, when we come to timber, right, we always talk about lifespan? Because timber is a natural renewable energy. I mean, it's a source of natural energy. So when we talk about longer lifespan, what it involves is the attacks of insects and so on. We have to treat the timber before its appropriate usage in the timber construction itself. And also, apart from that, yes, the right choice of timber definitely becomes an eye coolant for your eyes, because of every timber, right, it has actually its own characteristic, unique designs, and it carries a unique color or combination of colors as well. So if you're not aware which color of the designs to use for the wood in construction, this might actually lead to a, how do I say, some mishaps or incident that we'll talk about in the next slide. Okay, here, if we are not actually using the right choice of timber, right, misuse of the timber can definitely cause fatality in workplace. So here we have a picture of building become collapsing and also fire incidents. So these are the, how do I say, consequences of not using the right choice of timber in construction without without getting the advice from the expert themselves. Hence, to avoid all this commotion, right, it has become important that the right quality of timber should be ensured by the investigating timber properties and selecting the correct timber specification for its rightful usage by expert entities such as MTIB. So here, what are the benefits of timber verification services? Meaning to say, before we conduct or before we have before we are using the timber for any usages, right? For example, you want to build a house, you wanted to build how do I say, a bigger building for workers' working purposes, or even you wanted to build a small resting area or a hut. So you have to know that not all timber species is suitable for all the usages. So here, in Malaysia itself, we have like about more than 2,000 species of hardwoods, each of which may only be appropriate for certain types of application. So whether a particular species is suited for a specific usage actually depends on its physical and mechanical properties. So here, different species are often used to build roof trusses, flooring wall paneling, banisters, window frames, and skirting. And the wrong choice of timber species can often lead to poor performance in application. So next is the determining the moisture content of the timber itself before putting it in for its usage. So here, we call it a balancing act. You know why? Because having the right moisture content is definitely vital to the performance of timber products in their final application. So the amount of moisture in timber, right, it actually has to match the environment the timber it has itself being used. For example, whether we are using the timber for indoor purposes or outdoor purposes. So we have to make sure the moisture content level is accordance to the usage where we are putting the timber to. So too much moisture content, right, actually can cause the timber to swell, while it also can make the timber to shrink if it's too dry. So these can actually lead to distortions such as splitting, warping, twisting, bowing, and so on. These are the defects of timber when the right moisture content is actually not applied. So additionally, timber has to be definitely properly dried to protect it against decay and fungal stain. So apart from that, it is also crucial to select not only the timber species but also to appropriate grade of wood for specific application. So here, right, we are trying to ensure is the correct grade can actually often eliminate defects and blemishes that could weaken the wood and affect its performance. So here, the right grade of wood can actually ensure the strength and also appearance. So what we do here is that we have our experts and our officers here who conduct the regrading. So the regrading is actually we go to the sites or our customers bring in the samples to our workplace and we will conduct the regrading activity. So when we are conducting the regrading activity, right, it is definitely being carried out in accordance with the Malaysian grading rule MGR, which is an internationally renowned grading rule. And also, last but not least, one of the how do I say most important as well timber verification services we provide is that determining the preservation. So here we understand that the timber is actually susceptible to attacks by insects, termites, and fungi, as well as deterioration by physical and chemical agents. So it has to be chemically treated first in order to enhance its durability and also lifespan and prevent the premature deterioration. Why? Because timber is it actually have a life cell in it. So when we have life cells in it, right? So we have to properly treat the timber itself in order to avoid it from the attacks of such insects and other live bugs. So here, what we do is that this preservation, right, is actually done by positioning the food source in timber by saturating the wood with an appropriate wood preservative. So here MTIB conducts analysis on the chemical treatment of timber through either a quantitative analysis performed in the laboratory or a qualitative analysis as on the spot test. So what we do is that we will go to the on-site and we receive customer requests and we have our experts who will conduct the color test or the laboratory test if it's required. So here, everyone and anyone who plan to use timber, right, for their homes or buildings should actually first verify the timber. So here, they include developers, contractors, engineers, architects, interior designers, and also consumers. When we talk about interior designers, right, we can say that nowadays we always have give more importance, a high value when it comes to aesthetically pleasing designs. So even though without having any usefulness for certain type of timber products, for example, we just might place is for just for aesthetic pleasing purposes. Okay, just putting how do I say, the paneling of our house and everything, it can be designed in a way that just to please our eyes. But then one type of timber species to be used, it has to be consulted by the expert themselves. So here, what are the type of services and rate? So here, yeah, we have regrading, verification of wood species, moisture content determination and determination of preservative, and other services actually includes providing advices to our end users and also to our specifiers on what type of timber to be used for the right usages according to their construction purposes. So here we can see our experts, which is officers from the MTIB conducting the verification wood species. Okay, here we normally what we do is that we will use our magnification glasses, as seen in the picture too there. Okay, and then for us to know, okay, it actually takes experience and very vast knowledge in order for you to actually determine the type of the type or the species of the timber that is being used itself. No one can literally learn them in a year or so, because it actually takes you time and a vast experience, ladies and gentlemen. So apart from that, we have regrading here. So here we always go to our job sites, okay, requested by our customers. We will go there and we will conduct regrading. Why is it important to have regrading? Of course, to avoid any penalty when you're exporting your timber products later on. So here what we are doing is the moisture content determination. We actually have the moisture content unit tool here. So what we do is that we will proceed to use that tool to determine the correct moisture content. So because it is important for us to know the moisture content is set between a certain range according to your place of export. Okay, let's say you wanted to export to a more, how do I say, less tropical country. So you have to take into account, okay, the travel period, right? So let's say we are taking the timber right now, right? So we have 1 ton or 1 load of timber. So maybe by the time it actually reaches the actual company, the timber might be in the move in the container itself, passing through sea levels and everything. So the temperature and the moisture content may differ when you're traveling from one continent to another. So the experts will advise you, okay? So from the starting point, around what is the range of the moisture content you actually can have, because when the day passes, right, it will actually shrink. Okay, the moisture content will be lost or increased according to the environment humidity. Okay, so it is important to know the moisture content level before your import or export destination, and also for you to use it for your locally sourced usages for constructions. So yeah, here we are doing the color test for the determination of preservative. And other services is that we are providing advices, counselings on. We have experts here at MTIB. So based on your usage, we will proceed to recommend you the type of species you can actually use in accordance to your plan. So why is it this type of services are important? Well, first, it will help you to actually save time and cost. So you don't have to actually repeat the mistakes. Okay, let's say you already hired a construction contractor, and the contractor has already halfway building your house or anything, but then you find it the base is actually quite big, or let's say any natural occurrence occur like heavy rain or what, you found the base itself, the structure, the outer structure has collapsed. So what we can see from that, the base, the species used for the timber in construction is actually not the right one. So in order to avoid that, first consult the experts of timber first. So you don't have to actually spend a fortune to repeat the same process again. So here are our annually pendapatan, you would say, like normally how much we garner from our TVS services we provide. And our services, the timber verification services, right, is actually supported and endorsed by many government-related agencies. And one of it will be Kementerian Perusahaan Utama, JPR, FRAME, DPKL, CITB, and so on. So in conclusions, right, so specifiers or the end users, we do have, a compelling reasons in order for us to actually choose the timber verification services due to several important reasons. So number one is the right quality prevents difficulty. So the timber experts, they will actually help you to determine if the timber used is appropriate before installation. It actually avoids defects and from the beginning itself. So here, right, we will ensure your grade of wood is actually the right one for your desired performance. It provides wood with a longer lifespan. The experts at MTIB will ensure your timber has the correct moisture content to prevent defects and is properly treated to prolong its lifespan. And like just now I said, it saves time and cost. So in conclusion, right, we hope that after the session, we have many dealers, specifiers, and even end users here. So before you take up another project, in case you need any other or you need extra advices on how to use the correct species of timber, please feel free to contact us and we will definitely help you to get on the right species of timber and provide you the best advice we could possibly do. Yeah, that's all for now. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. I'll need to share a mic because another mic got no battery with it. So, okay. Thank you, Ms.Hasshviny. So, as usual, any questions from the floor? If you have, oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. There you go.
That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you. My name is Ashley Amadon. I'm with the International Wood Products Association in the United States. And I just have to say the desire to reach out to specifiers is something that we are also trying to do as well, because we recognize the same thing you do, which is they drive demand, right? And so it's a really important area, I think, for our industry as a whole. But I was curious, do you do a lot of outreach to them? Do you depend on them to come to you? Because you have some great information and really valuable services. I'm just curious sort of how they learn about you, if you depend on word of mouth or if you guys are doing a lot of marketing or outreach, and if so, what does that look like?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Ashley. So here we are talking about marketing strategies to reach out the specifiers and our end users, right? So one of the initiatives that has been undergoing from MPRB itself is that definitely is marketing. We normally aim at our users at big exhibitions like this, MITEC and also MIF and EFE, our yearly big exhibitions. So we never miss a chance to actually promote all of our services provided by NPRB itself. So when we have the chance, I think we have to take it itself. But then apart from aiming our international buyers or specifiers, right? So locally what we do is that we have planning to actually reach out to, to have a plan in common, all right? We are targeting our national players or our district players, okay, district players such as our government state level, all right. We are trying to actually gather people who are mainly involved in the construction businesses. So when we are having the construction businesses, right, we have to have or receive the, permission from certain bodies, okay. For example, here is the CIDB, which consists of architects and so on. So here what we do is that we will proceed to gather all of them in one place and proceed to market or provide more information on this type of services more. So the engineers, architects have valuable information on how to actually or educate properly on the type of usage of species of timber to be used in construction. So apart from aiming for the exhibitions internationally, apart from having a collaboration by state level organizers, we also actually goes to certain places like let's say so far what we have been doing is that we also have exhibitions at malls, all right, malls. But why do we reach out malls? Because we have common users, right? We have common end users there. So when people are sometimes afraid to actually buy or purchase the timber products because they have this type of a setback. They say that if we buy or use the timber product, it might not be valuable or it might have a very lesser lifespan, right? So we want to educate them. So we want to educate them that timber is actually better than aluminium and steel in so many aesthetics, or in so many values. So I think marketing and reaching out to the target audience is very important. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.Hasshviny. Any other questions from the floor? If you have any, you can actually raise your hand. Okay, I think Ms.Hasshviny, you did a great job. I think, you see, everyone is so clear about the information, and thank you so much. It's